Morgan Rain, and today I want to talk about the ego. Now, the ego isn't something to be destroyed or bypassed, it's something to understand and remove, and then for to understand the ego, you have to get down to the root of it to comprehend why. And there's different types of ego. But the ultimate purpose of this unearthing of the ego is to um, alleviate ego. Ego is based upon thought constructs, negative ego. A positive ego is based upon understanding the self and um, knowing that there's things about yourself um, that you're proud of and that you love and that you like, and you know, but knowing that through your true self. The um, the removal of the ego, one of the purposes is to not be jaded anymore, to not be run through thought constructs or that which is based upon growing from your shadow content, and thus the comprehension and working through of those thought constructs and that shadow content that is the negative ego. Once you get to the root of them and you understand that, and that unnatural, that negative ego, it hurts us. And then once you just understand it all, the root of one thing, it alleviates, and it doesn't hurt you anymore. And then when you have that part of you, that pure um, yourself, which is unafflicted by negative ego, then you can comprehend something truly, directly, without discrimination, without your own thought constructs coming in and interfering and making you feel bad and bringing up a whole bunch of negative, probably fiery emotions. And instead, you can comprehend something just as it is. So I'm gonna go on to explain this in another video, but really it's just shadow work. So when you come to feel your ego uprising, look at what it is. Just figure out what it is and work down to the base of it. Deal with it like a shadow content thing that you would deal with. And I'll get into shadow work in another video, because it's just the same thing. But that is the purpose of it. So it's not something to be destroyed. You can't destroy ego. But when you have true positive ego, you will have a huge greater sense of self-love, of empowerment, of power, personal power. You can feel that through ego that's based upon thought constructs, but it's just not going to feel as good. And yeah, I hope I cleared up some things that it's not really something I've ever heard talked about. So that's gonna be all for today, and we'll go on to explaining shadow work and how to dealing with this in another video. It's like there's hard ego that is based solely upon your thought constructs, and then there's soft ego, which is based upon if something came up to you and you thought, well, I and gave you a sense of ego that you're not like somebody else because they, perhaps are different than you. Yeah, so what I'm saying is if you think that somebody has, um, in comparison to yourself, that you are better off because you've experienced some hardship that hurt you, then that is it's positive ego because you're going on your own strength. You're proud of yourself because of your own strength, but it's still based on hurtful thought constructs. The other situation, whatever that was, is still hurtful to you. So that's a difficult ego thing to get over, um, or to work through. It's a strange connection that yeah. So if you're going, you can go into your memory to bring these things up, bring them to the surface, and get them out of your way because hard ego is hurtful. It can make you nasty and aggressive, and it also hurts you. Whenever your ego is triggered, your negative ego is triggered, it arises all of these emotions that are associated with the thought patterns that are connected to that aspect of your negative ego. And these emotions hurt us a lot. They're really, but those things, they just, so you're feeling all of these things and it shuts off your eyes. You can't see anything anymore. And mostly the reason to berate yourself of these aspects is because it hurts. It hurts. I mean, it's difficult, and it's really difficult to work through those aspects of your ego. But just go and recognize that you're having a strange an upheaval of emotions, and then assess them. What are they? Why do they? And then follow them down. Why does this? Why does that? It's it's basic shadow work, but it's tricky and it's hard and it's really emotional. But it's worth it for that sense, for that positive ego, which is just fucking fantastic. It's a it's a really great thing, and this has nothing to do with, you know, how you see life. It's just you can feel positive in yourself and assess things without judgment once you have clarified your hard ego or your negative ego. It just develops, it just blossoms forth the soft ego. And that's kind of all for this video. We'll talk more about shadow work later and how to actually practically go through these things.